beyond what we intended in terms of cleanup language. And I think it would be good to discuss that in the forum so that that body can weigh in and express their concerns as well, because it's in part about the interlap, where the city and the district are within the city.
Further discussion at the council level? Further comments from the public?
Jim Ronco, Chairman of the Board of the Sanitation District, and I would greatly endorse Councilman Crane's suggestion that we deal with the grease trap ordinance at our joint meeting. I think all of us are desirous of making sure that the city sewer plant operates properly, and we don't want to have grease from one entity balling up the work, so to speak. I think if we have one ordinance that functions for both areas, it's in everybody's best interest. So I would wholeheartedly endorse the opportunity to have a joint meeting and discuss this. Thank you.
Is there a further comment? Further discussion? Further comment from the public? Further discussion at the council level?
I guess I would say part of my reason in voting that way is that seeking ways to find collaborative opportunities to work between the Sand District and the City of Ukiah about issues, particularly concrete issues, I think is a good starting ground for reaching decisions that everybody's satisfied with. So I would support Doug's recommendation.
Further discussion? If not, roll call.
Councilmember Landis.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Roden.
Yes.
Mayor Baldwin.
Yes. Is it conceivable that we can handle either C or D before the public hearing
C or D?
of unfinished business? C is the authorized city manager to execute director for agreements with CDC, the Commission on the Home Program Administration.
I think so.
Do you think we might be able to handle that? Well, we will begin that anyway. Item 11C.
I move approval.
Okay, we're on 11C. This has to do with execution of grant agreement with
10C or 11C?
Oh, excuse me.
10C.
Okay.
10C, City of Ukiah and Ukiah Redevelopment Agency. Authorize the city manager to execute director to negotiate and execute an agreement with the Community Development Administration for administration of home program and for home Summer Creek Village grant and future home CDBG and Cal Home affordable housing grants. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion at the council level? Well, I have a question for staff regarding the $800,000. That applies just to the home grant or to the rehabilitation as well?
It's actually, the grant is, it's $800,000, and an even amount is used for first-time home buyers, and it's just a little under $400,000 because of the administration part. And then the other half is used for owner-occupied rehabilitation.
Where is Summer Creek Village?
Summer Creek Village is a home grant that we had a few years back. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. That's actually ended, but it is it was an apartment complex that one of the requirements is ongoing monitoring. They have to look at the income of the people living there to make sure that it still has people living in it that are low to moderate income that meet the requirements of that grant. And the requirements actually go on for a period of about 50 to 55 years.
And so that is an actual housing project in the city limits?
Yes, it is.
So out the $400,000, out of the $800,000, $400,000 is for administration?
No, I'm sorry, but grant for $800,000. Half of it is for owner-occupied rehabilitation, and half of it is for, first-time homebuyers. That's a new grant. And approximately, I would say, it's a little over $100,000, I think, that goes towards administration.
Okay.
There's general delivery, and then there's the administration of the whole management.
So for $400,000, how many individuals would be helped in purchasing a home? I think you mentioned that in the report. 10.
Approximately 10 loans for low-income residents.
I'm going to support this, however, I've always asked, every time this has come up, whether this amount of money to help 10 people is really the biggest bang we can get for our bucks. Maybe this is the only way this money can be used. Maybe it can't go for rental housing, but, or rental housing subsidies, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not sure if this is the best bang we can get for our buck, but I'm going to support it. Is there further council discussion?
These aren't loans, these are,
It's a grant. This actually is money that is available as a grant. And the administrative costs are part of the grant. All it will actually pay for itself. So when we were able to have this agreement with CDC to oversee the administration part of it, that money is already part of the grant. It's not going to cost us extra money to do that. But when we look at the Summer Creek Village grant, which is a grant that is already, has been, all the funds have been used, but we have this ongoing obligation. We don't have any of that money left, because the grants usually last 3 years, and you have to use up all your money in that time. And so we have to find another way to pay for that, and that is part of this as well. And that's what the administration costs we would have to pay for that.
Councilmember Roden.
well, I know that this is the home as a grant, but what Mayor Baldwin was talking about getting bang for the buck, those, I just want to clarify and make sure I understand it correctly, that the portion of the home grant that goes to helping first-time home buyers, those are not grants to first-time home buyers, right? Those are loans to first-time home buyers to help. Okay? We're
There-
not giving away,
well, it's still
we're
a
not
question
giving
of-
away down payments.
It's still a question in my
Okay.
mind whether it's the best bang for our buck for taxpayer-supported funding.
I just want to make clear, we're not giving away down payments.
choice.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, it's the conditions of the grant. You don't have any choice.
It's a little beyond what we can do. That's why it's important to actually bring in another organization that has that.
The city attorney has a comment, I believe, on this issue.
All I was going to say is, usually when you apply for a grant, there are specific terms and conditions of the grant, and the grant guidelines or the terms and the conditions of the grant dictate how you can use the money. So the city doesn't have any choice. You have to use the money as provided for in the grant guidelines. So if the grant guidelines, and I'm sure that's what they provide for, require you to use the money for loans for first-time home buyers or to rehabilitate housing, then that's the terms of the grant. You have to comply with them.
Well, back to the bang for our buck argument is evidently staff time does go into this. We don't necessarily have to use the staff time to even apply for the grant in the first place. Is there a comment from the public at this time, from the members of the audience? If not, we don't, is there a motion? Yes, there is. And a second.
There's a second.
One extra thing that it actually is not in my writing, it actually came up later today, because we're still working with CDC on working out the agreement. One of the things we would also like to have them do is assist the city and/or the redevelopment agency with low and moderate